When the city I go click clack blow your bet. Government fingers and tic-tac-toes in it. And while they're working on the X's and O's, I'm living eye and eye like a Mr. Kamosi. No surprise when they sending foes to me. Opposite are when plain clothes approaching me. Follow the rules is what they propose to me. Selling their souls for what is owed, you see. Nothing is owed, nothing is promised. Never know the government woulda run up in a them garrison. Without no sorry, without excuse. Soldier money in a them lorry, everybody gets abused. And everybody have them views now. The media is owned, so know where you get your news from. And the blood up on them shoes now. When them walk in the trace, look them hard in them face and say, Kingston, be warrior. Kingston, free up your mind. Kingston, just be warrior for me. Kingston, free up the eye, yeah. Now all the damage can't quantify. Ray and couldn't sanctify. Say enough of them sent to die. So the city I intensify. Say the ghetto them a gentrify. Well nobody no identify. Nobody's unidentified and just a lie there. Then where the gun there? Dead pan Saturday, buried Sunday. Like Solomon a gun day. Like a no sons of Solomon them have done day. Leonard how will a pinnacle and them land there. Subdivision them deal it under hand. So learn it cause them come back with them plan day. So tell me how far do you wanna go now? Hey, cause them we rat-a-tat-tat-tat when you pop out, pow, wow, wow, wow. Kingston, be warrior. Kingston, free up your mind. Kingston, just be warrior for me. Kingston, free up the eye, yeah. And do you overstand me, man? Yeah, it's live from the capital city. Hey, hey. Be wise. Be wise for me. Kingston, Kingston, Kingston. Be wise. Kingston, free up the eye, yeah.
My next guest is an athlete's athlete. She's represented this country in every Olympic game since 2004, winning 7 gold medals, 3 silvers, and 1 bronze to complete the set. She's also a budding entrepreneur. Her community-centered lifestyle brand is called Saish. Please welcome the wonderful Allison Felix. Look, before I let you get on out of here, I'd be remiss in neglecting to bring up, Sha'Carri Richardson. You know that she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously being, pushed out of the Olympics because of marijuana use and what have you. In light of all of that that's been transpiring, all that she has gone through, what message would you like to say about her personally and about what she endured being an Olympian?
Yeah, I know that.
Supposed to be an Olympian.
Yeah, I know that she's obviously been through so much. And so I hope that she's just supported. You know, I hope people rally around her. Obviously, she has a great personality and she's brought in a lot of attention to the sport. And I think she'll be in the sport for a very long time. And so I think just more than anything, you know, for all athletes, there's so much that goes into it. We just, you know, give her the support that she needs.
I got you. Well, you definitely have our support.
You win gold, you choose a seat. You can move every question if you want. That's what you get. As we mentioned with Joe Kovacs, a number of world champions that are here competing at Prefontaine, and again afforded that opportunity, thanks to World Athletics, that wild card to be back to defend their title. It'll be so great to see her competing once again in Eugene, and we'll see her again tomorrow, silver medalist from Tokyo, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. From Tokyo, again, made part of a formidable relay team as well that won the gold medal for Team Jamaica. Please welcome Sharika Jackson. And again, it's great we have 9 lanes. There are 6 other women who will be competing in that 100 meters, and it'll be a great race, but we are very fortunate and very happy to welcome back the 6th fastest woman in the history of the event from the United States. Please welcome Sha'Carri Richardson. She's right there, Sha'Carri. Closest to the trophy. All right, front and center. Sha'Carri, welcome back to Eugene.
Oh, hi.
Nice talk to them. You don't necessarily have to talk to me. Hey, I'm just one of millions of your followers now, but I did see on one of your posts this week, you're saying you're going back to work, right? So
yes, right.
Being ready to work tomorrow takes preparing for that first day of work. So just give us a sense of how you've been preparing to go back to work.
I've been doing what I was doing before the game situation happened, training, doing it as that me, my coach, my support system, been doing, knowing to do, and this is nothing new. We're just back on the track now. And
training's gone well? You're happy where you would be whether you had competed in Tokyo or not?
Yes, training has been going well, regardless of the situation. I have no complaints. My talent has not went anywhere, so just ready to get back on the track.
Yeah, and you love competition, and this brings all that competition right to your doorstep. So just talk about just having that motivation of knowing you're going to have these women to line up against tomorrow.
Lining up against these women is going to be an amazing race tomorrow. They're two of the women sitting here are 2 of the fastest women to ever do this sport. So I'm honored to just be on the stage with them, but I'm not starstruck. When it's time to get on the line, we all do the same thing. We all have our own mindsets when we get in our lanes, and it's about what you're going to do when you're in your lane. If you're worried about the next lane, how can you fully invest into what you need to do to put your foot into getting down the track in yours? So I'm eager to run against them and bring the best out of them, and hopefully they bring the best out of me.
That's where the magic happens at Hayward, right? Exactly. Well, my last question to you would just be in the context, and you know, I'm trying not to be starstruck too, but with all the followers you have, you're kind of a big deal now. In a lot of Prefontaine Classics, we're not having athletes who are competing in races on the Today Show the night before a race, and we don't have a lot of non-traditional fans showing curiosity with how you'll perform on the track. Have you stepped back and appreciated just all the support you've gotten from people both in and outside the sport? And does this have an opportunity to help bring attention to the sport? Because if you can help make this sport more exciting and successful, everyone in this room benefits as a result of that.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm glad of the positive thing. Oh, I thought somebody said something. But I'm glad for the positivity that I brought into the sport. The intention I was able to bring to the sport, whether it was negative or positive, for the simple fact that people are now watching. I know a lot of track and field athletes, we wish we had more attention in the sport. We wish people would pay more attention. And yeah, just I'm honored, I would say. And I really don't want to do too much talking. I'm just ready to race now.
Let's have a great show. That's what we would always say. So
19, but This is the showdown that everybody was expecting in Tokyo. The entire podium is here. Shericka Jackson third, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price second, and on the left there, Elaine Thompson-Herah, the gold medalist in both the 100 and the 200. And they've put Sha'Carri Richardson in the middle.
And a good start for Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. Thompson-Herah, Richardson being left behind, and out in front, the Olympic champion does it again.
The Olympics were an absolute disaster this year for so many reasons, but one of the people who was not present at this year's Olympics was Sha'Carri Richardson, and everyone made a huge deal about it. If you remember, Sha'Carri Richardson became a media darling after getting suspended and not allowed to participate in the Olympics because at the Olympic trials, she failed her drug test. It turned out that she was smoking weed when she wasn't supposed to be. She was smoking weed very, very close to the competition, and then she came up with a bunch of different reasons as to why she did that. She made a media appearance, and she was literally, like I said, a media darling. She was celebrated, and people came out, let Sha'Carri run. It's just not right. Well, Sha'Carri Richardson is finally back to running, but I don't think it went the way a lot of people thought it would. You can see the headline from TMZ. And shout out Black and White Sports and my man John Matrix. I saw this video on their channel first, so make sure to subscribe to those guys. Sha'Carri Richardson comes in last place against Jamaicans. Fiery post-race interview. And not only did she lose to the Jamaicans, who finished first, second, and third in the Olympics, she finished last with a bunch of other people who she had beat previously. This was not the return that I think Sha'Carri Richardson wanted, but what did she do? She just talked a bunch of shit in a post-game interview. This is the person the media wanted to put up as, look, she's such a darling, she's such an angel, forgive her, let her run. And then when you listen to the way she acts and the way she behaves, I don't think a lot of people are going to have that same sympathy for her. This is someone who got a bunch of attention for some sort of perceived victimhood after she's the one that violated the rules. Yet again, it's just another one of these cases where someone like a Colin Kaepernick gets so much attention for being a victim that it's better for him to be a victim than it is for him to actually be on the field. Maybe Sha'Carri Richardson might have something like that going on in her future. Sha'Carri Richardson's return to the racetrack wasn't as glorious as she hoped. She came in last place against some of the same women she beat a couple months ago. The U.S. sprinter, who was disqualified from competing at this summer's Tokyo Olympics, took her mark Saturday for the Prefontaine Classic at the University of Oregon, where she was set to race in the women's 100-meter dash against 8 others, including 3 of the Jamaican Olympians who took gold, silver, and bronze. Sports Center, very unceremoniously, in her return, Sha'Carri Richardson ran an 11.14 at the Nike Prefontaine Classic, finishing 9th. And you can see her right here, right there, very much behind the pack. I don't know if she would have cut it at the Olympics. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people were making a big deal out of this. When the gun went off, everyone was hurtling down the track, but it quickly became clear Sha'Carri was falling behind. Not just the Jamaicans, but everyone else too. She ended up coming in 9th place. And I think we can watch it here. Let's see the race unfold in front of our eyes. Only takes 11 seconds, right? There's Sha'Carri with the blonde hair there. Does not look like she's been training very hard in her absence. You know, in what you think will be a time where she was so super motivated to come out there and show everybody what happened to her was a travesty. She could have done some of this at this Olympics if she had been allowed the opportunity. She comes up short like this and fails in an embarrassing manner. And then what does she do in the post-game interview or the post-race interview? I'll let you listen for yourself.
Coming out today, it was a great return back to the sport. I wanted to be able to come and perform.
Again, this is from NBC Sports, who likes to claim us on these videos, so we're going to pause in between. Make sure we provide plenty of commentary, NBC Sports.
Having a month off, dealing with all I was dealing with. I'm not upset at myself at all.
Dealing with all I was dealing with. Again, I'm a victim because I broke the rules, and I knew I broke the rules, but I'm the victim here.
This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the shit you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me.
There you go, the
person who just finished dead last, talking a bunch of shit in her post-race interview. This is the media darling that everybody wanted to, oh, she's such a sweetheart, she's such a victim, let her race. Well, she finally got her opportunity. After all this, she could have shut a lot of people up. She could have really come out there and sent a message. Well, the message she sent was that she didn't take this shit seriously. Maybe that's why she was smoking weed a few nights before she went out there to try to qualify for the Olympics. Again, this, regardless of what you think should or should not be allowed, and I think a lot of people think you should probably be allowed to smoke weed if you want and still compete, that wasn't allowed, and she knew that. But she did it anyway. She had to face the consequences. She played victim. Everybody else let her play the victim. Now she comes out after the Olympics and finishes dead last. Embarrassing for Sha'Carri Richardson. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below.
I did say last night was the last one, but I realized that Sha'Carri really wants that smoke, right? The one she received on the field wasn't good enough, so she really looked like she liked the smoke in the real life. Anyway, people, when we get back, we're going to look at what Miss Sha'Carri said. I am offended, and I'm sure a lot of people will be offended. But now, Bill no war with Sha'Carri, but Sha'Carri really needs to be called out on this one. Anyway, people, let's kick it.
You're not like anyone else. You find the way you are. Did you do this all yourself? A smile ignites the room. Send yourself to the time, you know it's called Tell. Representing for Blessed D, Gaza Diva.
So, Sha'Carri took to her Twitter fingers again, like Trump, and acting up and doing all sorts of stuff. So this guy wrote a tweet or posted a tweet, and Sha'Carri liked it. He said, "Not y'all Jamaicans still talking, you know what's blurred out, when y'all gotta walk barefoot to your coconut stand every day for a living." Now you tell me now, Sha'Carri, you know, like this tweet. She can't say, I know she like it, and big up to the neighborhood talk. But Sha'Carri can't say, I know she like this tweet. This is liked by Sha'Carri. So anything I put my signature to, it is a representation of me. So when I'm on YouTube, Facebook, IG, anywhere, it is a representation of me. So if I'm going to put my finger or my like on something, that means that I really read it, or unless I accidentally clicked it, but me know so she not accidentally click it. Yeah man, she really click it. But they took to the comment section and then we did fix our business. Someone wrote, which I've been telling people, and they all swear she's innocent. God really works in a mysterious way. She just, hi guys, bro, dead ass, y'all was dragging her. She right to respond. Someone else. And that's why we run so fast. At Sha'Carri Richardson, you need to let your legs keep up with your mouth. You only run fast when you're running with your little friends. But in the midst of real competition, you can't function. Go get your mind right. I understand coming from nothing. I understand being ghetto. But my God, you are the typical stereotype of the black woman that black Americans have been trying to put behind.
Is it okay that a black woman said it? Am I allowed as a black man to say it now?
You're a disgrace. And if you were winning international races with the best and holding your own,
she just set the groundwork for this entire fucking show.
Apparently your mother couldn't teach you, nor could your grandmother.
The stereotype of the everyday black woman.
It's not too late to develop class. Hashtag Ratchet Sha'Carri. So Safari took to the comment section and
here's my thoughts on Sha'Carri Richardson.
Wow.
Yesterday she got her pack smoked on national television, coming in last place. I don't care what her best time was or what world record she has. When she lined up yesterday, it was a brand new day. Them Jamaican girls won medals in the Olympics. That was her time to prove to the world that I should have been there. But you got your pack smoked on national television. Point blank, period. I don't care nothing about the haters, the naysayers. I don't care nothing about that. You got your pack smoked on national television. She should have spent her time in the lab getting herself right for her next competition instead of spending her time on Twitter running her mouth. And I don't want to hear nothing about that, oh man, you down in a black woman. I'm not down in a black woman. I'm looking at her as an athlete like any other athlete. Anytime you run your mouth, you need to back it up. You cannot run your mouth and not back it up. We don't do that. Point blank.
Someone said the xenophobia is loud in this one. And someone else, and you all swear she's all innocent. God has a way of revealing things. Someone else, she's just high, guys. Someone else, man, a blood clot like her no more. Someone else, so sad. Lots of Jamaicans, such as myself, was supporting you. Before and after, they did her wrong for the smoking. And even after she spoke so harsh about the Jamaican women, the barefoot statement is whack. And it don't make sense. So many people been through tough in their life. And this just making her legacy look bad. And she is very talented. To just sad social media got her, too sad social media got her getting pulled in. She's a black woman regardless, but her actions are low standard. Live for you, not social media, or talk to someone that really cares and can help to guide you. And hands down, I salute Jamaican women. You earned it and worked hard. Oh yes, the girls did. It's crazy. She can't even like anything now related to Jamaica. Not a joke, meme, nothing. You know why? Because it's gone get reported and reposted by those who have all the time in the world to search for this shit. I hope y'all are paid heavily for this kind of news, because I would be annoyed. Y'all got me searching for what? I don't care. But this shit, it's her account. Let the girl like whatever she wants to like. The energy given is overshadowing the winner, whose name don't even know, cause the one who came in ninth is all everyone seems to focus on. As shakes my head, I can't ever forget the name Usain Bolt, but all I can remember is a brown girl from Jamaica smoked Sha'Carri, and that's sad. Her name should be ringing like Usain was as the winner. People, on that note, I want you to tell me now what your thoughts are below in the comment section about what that last comment said. Now, I know that Elaine Thompson's name is known, and she is known for the right reason. She has all the right sponsors and she carries herself quite classy. Sha'Carri is being dragged and Sha'Carri is being remembered, and she should be stained and remembered, especially for a dirty, filthy comment like this. Last night in my video, I did say I'm done, but Sha'Carri not done. And if Sha'Carri keeps dissing my homeland or my birthplace, then I'm gonna feel some way. Oh yes, I'm gonna feel some way. Not y'all Jamaicans talking ish when y'all gotta walk barefoot to your coconut stand every day for a living. Come on, she's 21, but she have sense. She has a major sponsor and she needs to be cognizant of these things. This is out of the park now, and Sha'Carri rank, feisty, and out of order, and she get everything where she get, she deserve it.
I told you,
you did.
How impressed I was by her confidence when most people might have been moved to tears. I talked to you about how I appreciated her consistency, how she stayed true to herself.
All that.
I talked about how if Keep That Same Energy was a person, it was Sha'Carri Richardson. Now we have entered into the what we not gonna do phase of the Sha'Carri Richardson program, okay? Because what we not gonna do is come for Allison Felix, okay? So, the other night Allison Felix was on television and she offered some words of encouragement saying we should support Sha'Carri Richardson in whichever way she needs. Sha'Carri Richardson, who claimed after finishing last that she was going to get back in the lab, apparently got sidetracked and ended up on IG and decided to sub Allison Felix in her IG stories by saying encouraging words on TV shows are just as real as, well, nothing at all. Okay? So, my issue is, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't fool me again. And Michael, I don't like being made a fool of. Now, I'm not walking back anything I said on Monday about what happened on Saturday. I'm not walking that back because that's how I felt then. I'm going to tell you how I feel right now. How I feel right now,
let's hear it,
is fed up. Like, I'm hitting top speed now. Okay, I'm accelerating now. I'm hitting 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 real quick when it comes to this young lady because, again, I think people have gone too far. Some people had gone too far, had taken a great deal of pleasure, too much pleasure, in her demise on Saturday, okay? And looking back, maybe I might have overcorrected, overcompensated for that. But again, I still feel just like I felt on Monday when it comes to being confident that what's for you is for you, even when it seems like that destiny, that destination is so far away. But as we are often fond of saying, Michael Holly, more than one thing can be true. And another thing I'm fond of saying is the facts change, so does my opinion. My opinion about what she did on her IG stories, what she did on her IG stories. Listen there, man. Not smart. Not smart at all. Of all people to go after, of all people to sub, of all people to shade, whatever the proper slang is, you do not go for the most decorated track and field athlete in U.S. history.
Right.
Okay? It's one thing if you, and it's not that it's acceptable, but it's one thing if you don't display the proper reverence or the proper, respect to your Jamaican counterparts, your Jamaican competitors, okay? That's one thing. Not saying it's acceptable, but that's one thing. It's an entirely different level of have you lost your damn mind going after Allison Felix. Even if you may have a point buried in there somewhere, you keep that to yourself. Even if there's more to the story, even if there is some level of legitimacy to what she's saying. I don't see it, but let's say there is hypothetically. What do you exactly expect the most decorated U.S. track and field athlete in history to do for you? If you're going to get on your IG stories, it needs to be to repost what she said, tag her, and then slide in her DMs and say, hey, can we talk? Because now that I'm in the lab, now that I'm trying to figure out how to manifest, how to bring into being, how to manifest this greatness that I think I'm destined for, can we meet up? Can we go out for coffee? Can we talk? Can we hop on Zoom? Okay? If you want those words in person, you can get them. Hell, Serena Williams just withdrew from the U.S. Open. Maybe she got some free time on her hands. Sha'Carri Richardson got everybody's attention. She courted it, she got it. Now she has access to anybody she wants. If she really wants to be mentored by Allison Felix, the opportunity is there for her. But instead, you took this opportunity to do something unnecessary. Even if you felt that way, you ain't got to say it. Again, Lewis Johnson off the track, emotional, that's fine. We can understand that context. Competitive juice is burning. But you made the conscious decision to fire up your phone, open up your IG stories, and sub Allison Felix? I'm not done. I'm still rooting for her. I still appreciate that she maintained consistency.
Just like she said. She said, oh, I'm not done.
Yeah,
she said the same thing.
But today, the day, and Allison Felix ain't the one. Allison Felix ain't the one.
Hey, man.
God, just disrespect. Bro, I'm pissed. I'm legit pissed.
You go ahead.
I'm legit pissed.
I tell you what, I'm not.
Like she my daughter. Like she my child.
Go ahead.
No, you ain't pissed because you ain't surprised. You ain't pissed because you ain't surprised.
I told you on Monday.
There's a lot of people, Michael. There are so many people on Twitter right now. Allison Felix is trending. I'll say this last thing. I don't mean to monopolize.
Right,
There's so many people on Twitter right now, like yourself, saying "I told you so," and it is damn hard to argue with them right now.
Yeah, because look.
Today it's hard to argue.
She told on herself after losing the race. Look, man, come on, it's okay. It's okay, Sha'Carri, to say I'm disappointed and I'm amazed. I'm disappointed, I'm amazed, and I'm, humbled. I'm humbled because I really thought I was going to perform better. Best case scenario, yes, I want to finish first. I want to finish in the top 3 just to show everybody who I am. I never thought I would finish in last place. I never thought that I'd see a performance like that from Elaine. Wow, she was amazing. She was amazing. Shout out to her. I can't say it enough. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Chica. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, listen. If I get beat like that, I'm going to get to the finish line. I'm going to go up. I'm going to hug that sister right there. First of all, you fast and your hair's still tight after running like that. Your hair looked perfect like you came straight out the salon. Like Sister Girl hooked you up like 5 minutes ago. And running that fast, everything is tight still. You're looking good. All right. I'm going to give respect where it's deserved on the spot. She didn't do that. Then she turned it around to make it seem like, well, hey, people are saying I'm done. No, people are not saying you're done. People are saying if you're going to talk that much trash coming in, and you don't back it up, you got to say more than what you're saying right now. But there's the other thing. You pointed out her mixed zone interview, and you were very impressed with that, Mike. And mixed zone, for those who are not in the media, mixed zone is, okay, there's on the track, that was Lewis Johnson. Mixed zone is where a bunch of people can talk to you all at once. It's a certain area for the Olympics. Happens throughout the Olympics. Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, there's a mixed zone area. She goes into the mixed zone area and she says, I'm a fan of women. I'm all about successful women and powerful women. Well, wait a minute. If you're all about successful women and powerful women,
Felix.
Who's you're looking at the top of the mountain. You're looking at the top of the mountain. You know what you need to do? I'm sorry. And I know we went back and forth. My sister, Ashley Nicole Moss, said, hey, you know, why are people saying like humility is a double standard? Yes, the world is full of double standards. It is a sexist society. And we give allowances and we give leeway to men that we don't give to women. No argument there. In this case, though, I don't think it applies. Because if you're going to talk that much, and we like it, society loves an entertaining, a charismatic performer. If you're going to talk that much and fail and face plant, you can't come back.
Oh no,
the way she
did.
Oh,
I agree. So, not only do I agree that we would have clowned a man for doing the same thing, but I would venture to say that that's what I was about to say. And a man would have had less protection. If we want to call it like it is, let's say it like it is. A man would have had less protection from that behavior. Like, no question, if a man would have talked all that trash, he'd have been on, all the jokes would have been gotten off, okay? So, again, more than one thing can be true. It could be a sexist society, there could be double standards, and she could have it coming when she talks it and doesn't walk it, or in this case, run it. But, again, Michael, we can agree, as usual, our disagreements are somewhere in the margins.
And it's not
as the Pac-12 commissioner said the other day, it's usually nuanced. You know, our disagreements on Monday, while passionate, it's not a deep divide, right? You know what I mean? Like, because you're not both generally cut from the same cloth, if not the identical same cloth. Help, brother, from another.
Yeah.
Today, though, and that's where it's like, I got to open my eyes, be like, you know, is there a pattern here that, you know, preceded the Prefontaine Classic, continued at the Prefontaine Classic? Her, you know, very astute social media observers have noticed her pattern on social media of liking disparaging remarks about Jamaicans. That's out there in the Twitterverse. Is there a pattern here? Is there a pattern here with this young lady that cannot be ignored? For all her talent, for all the positive qualities that she has, is there a talent that cannot be ignored? And again, if you want to get in the lab, maybe it's not just about how you get out of the blocks. Maybe it's not about just your form, how you finish, the technical aspects of your craft. She looks like she needs to get in the lab when it comes to everything. If she thinks it's okay to go after Allison Felix, you're not gonna win that. That ain't the hill to die on. Okay? Maybe right church, wrong pew. Because, like, you know, your overall point, again, maybe there's more to the story than we realize. I don't know. But that's Allison Felix. That's royalty.
Right.
That's who you should be.
That's right.
I talked about how we should aspire to have the same kind of confidence in low moments as high moments as Sha'Carri Richardson displayed on Saturday. Allison Felix is who Sha'Carri Richardson should be aspiring to be. If she is half the athlete that Allison Felix has been, she is one of the greatest runners of all time. If she's half of what Allison Felix has been. I mean, today I had an argument for you on Monday. Today I got nothing. I got nothing today but disappointment.
And
disappointment.
And I'm going to tell you why.
You got to know better.
Can I tell you why? Can I give you an illustration? I'm gonna tell you, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you, me and Gary and Chica, we're gonna show you why Sha'Carri Richardson shouldn't have had an argument day of, okay? Second, run it again, show it again, show the race one more time. This is one more again.
Now you're just corny.
Let's do it.
Now you're just being corny.
One more time. I can't see it enough. Okay, for those who don't know, let's circle it. Old school John Madden. There's Sha'Carri right there. There's, look at the distance. Look at the distance.
On the game. She hit the B button. Elaine Thompson and Ryan hit the B button. Hey, 10-5-4 is still a story. 10-5-4 is still a story.
Look how Elaine, look how Elaine landed the plane. Okay, now she finishes. We're going to freeze it. We're freezing it.
That's the opposite of a photo finish. That's the kind of photo finish that you're not looking for if you're Sha'Carri Richardson. That's the opposite of the photo finish we were hoping for going into Saturday. Now, man, listen. Before my blood pressure gets any higher,
she had a trot.
Change the subject.
She had a trot. But I'm going to say this.
Change the subject or go to break. You get the last word. I want to come into this show positive, but here comes Sha'Carri in her Instagram stories. You get the last word, we can go to break, change the subject, whatever, but I'm done. What you got?
I will say this. A couple things. Like I said on Monday, I like her. I like her talent. I like her energy. I like her story. I mean, I really do. But I would say, just from experience, there are a couple of things that she should do. And we heard it a bit yesterday from Teray. I know you and Teray go back and forth on the MCU, and it's very entertaining, and you guys go back and forth. But he said something yesterday. You catch it when he was talking about mentors. He was talking about mentors, and he said there are, because we were talking about Prince and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and these mentors. I think that's what it was, Jordan and Kobe. And he said for him, there are 7 or 8 men in his life in different stages who have helped him get to the next stage, whether it's talking about writing, whether it's talking about being on TV or some aspect of his life. Mentors are critical. People who have been where you've been, or people who have done something, failed at it. Let me say it again. Some people who have failed at it, and they want to see you win. And so now they have some wisdom for you. They say, look, I had this opportunity. It didn't work out the way I thought it did, but now with some reflection, I know that I could have done X, Y, Z, and I'm here to help you. Allison Felix can be that for her. And the other thing is
a resource.
Another thing with the
she's a resource. Allison Felix has had a child.
Yeah.
Advocated for black mothers. And the morbidity rate. I mean, it's like she has been an icon, an advocate, and a champion. And Allison Felix on national television would have been very much in her rights to lecture Sha'Carri Richardson from afar and say and offer constructive criticism if she'd have wanted to in that moment. But if she was being positive and Sha'Carri Richardson met that with skepticism, again, just keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Like, you got to be smarter than that.
Well, this is what I would say. This is what I say about Sha'Carri Richardson's lab. As a designer of her lab, if I were designing it, I'm part of the blueprints, and I'm on that team. I'm going to say, I'm going to hook your lab up, but there's one thing you're not going to like about your lab. Your lab is not going to have IG. Get in the lab, get off IG, and let's focus. Come on, let's get in it. Let's get into it. She's constantly checking for who's checking for her, and like who's saying what, and let me like this, and let me heart that, and let me clap back at this. Once again, you finish 9th out of 9.
I don't want. There's change, and then there's evolution. There's change, and then there's growth. I hope, again, I don't backtrack from what I said on Monday about how I felt about what she said afterward. But that combined with this, I think there is room for re-examination on her part in terms of just
third thing.
Today was too much. Today was too much for me.
Third thing, real quick.
And
Show
both things can be true.
for
She can be
Jamaica.
celebrated and challenged.
Show some respect.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah. Not to bury the lead.
Show
but
some
no, as somebody
respect.
wrote the other day, she can be both celebrated and challenged at the same time, which is what we do with our great athletes, with our great champions. Okay, nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. She's still 21 years old. I still expect her to grow from this, but she got to want to grow from it.
Hey, thanks.
Hello everyone. I'd like to welcome both my loyal followers, including those who have been there since day one, as well as a lot of the newcomers who have signed up since my first video about this Sha'Carri Richardson debacle went semi-viral a few days ago. So let me say at the off start that I had no intention after my last video about this situation, which was the second to last video that I did. You know, I did a video about Elvis Presley being a pedophile and that being masked by you know, popular culture and media over the years, even though it's obvious that he met and had intimate encounters with his ex-wife Priscilla starting when she was 14, when he was on military leave in Germany. After that second to last video that I made about the Sha'Carri situation and how it related to what we see in Black America as a whole, both with the Black American female and the Black diaspora, Black America, aka the so-called Black community, I really had no intention of making another video about this girl. I don't clout chase. If you look, most of my videos have less than 1,000 views. I'm not a person that jumps on a topic just because it's hot. The only reason why I made a video about Sha'Carri in the first place is because she's relevant to what those of us Black male intellectuals in the black pill anti-feminist sector and what I call hashtag Marlboro Man sector of social media have been saying for years. Okay, and we're going to get into that in a moment. But another thing that I wanted to do before I really go in on this latest controversy is I want to thank all of you who are not only signed up to but are actively supporting through donations the fsavenger.com platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is the only place on the internet where Black men are allowed to freely speak and express themselves without fear of over-the-top censorship or political correctness. We've been going 3 years and strong. Please, if you haven't already, and you support the idea of Black men having their own place to freely express themselves, please hit the donate button on the front home page of fsavenger.com and donate to the cause. Also, if you would like to sign up, the best thing to do, because I have a lot of spam accounts to sign up at fsavenger.com, and we don't allow everybody on the platform. It's exclusively for black men, but if I recognize you from here on YouTube or somewhere else, and you have a proven track record of not being a dickwad, then I might let you on the platform, even if you're not a African American man. So if you are planning to sign up or donate, please let me know via email, briansolange2@gmail.com. That's BrianSolonge, the number 2@gmail.com. Furthermore, thank all of you who have continued to support me personally over the years through both donations, viewing, and commenting, not only here on YouTube, but primarily on my channels across other platforms, including our very own fsavenger.com. It's been 7 years and counting. We're in the latter part of 2021, and hopefully, we will be going into the year 2022 with a bang. We're not stopping. We're only moving forward. We're not slowing down. We're only moving faster. Now, you heard the intro about this Sha'Carri Richardson situation. And you heard a lot of people saying a lot of different things. Okay? But before we even get to that, okay, I'm going to need Black America particularly. I'm talking to you, Black America. I know there'll be other people that will hear this, okay? But I'm talking to, people who look like me, okay? And I'm not talking to any other region of the world where black people are. I'm talking to Black America. And for those of you brothers who have been loyal followers of mine, and other people who have been following and watching my content for a while, you'll be able to relate to this. But we're hearing people, they're acting so shocked about Sha'Carri Richardson and how she's acting, her poor hood radish behavior, and how she's not representing the sport very well, how she's not representing black people very well, and all this, that, and the third. Look, I'm gonna need Black America. The liberal media gonna do what they gonna do. They have their own agenda. But I need Black America on Twitter. I need Black America on YouTube. I need Black America on Facebook and elsewhere. I need y'all to do something for me, okay? I need y'all to stop playing with me. Like, seriously. I need y'all to stop playing games with me, bro. I need all of us to stop pretending like Sha'Carri Richardson is something different than what you see from the newer generation of Black American female. The average, just your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill black female that you can see almost anywhere. Okay, this girl is from Dallas, but you can go in any city. A lot of small and big towns now. You can go anywhere from east to west, north to south, and see a female online or off with an attitude just like Sha'Carri Richardson's. As a matter of fact, because people, I don't know if people are just trying to keep it politically correct or not. And I actually owe Sha'Carri Richardson a thank you. Those of us in the black pill community, and I'm sure, I'm not the only person talking about this. I actually have to, I'm going to publicly thank Sha'Carri Richardson for one thing. Thank you, Sha'Carri, because what Sha'Carri is doing is she's making it okay to talk about the black woman's attitude and her very piss poor personality towards a lot of things. She's making it okay to do that without necessarily having to worry about getting heavily censored or flagged down on social media. Okay? Everybody's going in on this chick and getting away with it. Even you heard in the intro, even a white man on his YouTube blog was going in on her. Now, under normal occasions, if a white person said anything about a black celebrity, he would get a lot of backlash. Okay? But even everybody's able to get away with talking about Sha'Carri Richardson. Why? Because, again, along with the selective outrage that we talk about frequently, athletes, nobody expects a Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or a Portia Williams or, any of these industry thoughts to act classy and respectful or anything other than ratchet. But when you're an athlete, especially an American athlete, and you're supposed to be representing your country on a world stage, you're not only representing, yourself, you're representing, not only black women, not only the black community, you're representing the United States of America, or at least that's how it's perceived. So even if you are ratchet and an ignorant little twit, which Sha'Carri Richardson clearly is, you're still supposed to carry yourself in a certain way. You're supposed to, present yourself as classy with poise, like a Allison Felix or, a Flojo or something like that. You're not supposed to act out of character. It's like, the argument that these hypocritical Democrats had against Donald Trump, that, he was acting out of character of the way a president of the United States is supposed to act. Okay. You're not supposed to be politically incorrect. And so Sha'Carri Richardson, she's not only making a fool out of herself, she's not only making a fool out of, black women in the black community, she's making a fool out of the United States of America, because even though she didn't go to the Olympics, the media, now the world media, is seeing her, because the American media hyped her up as a representation of American athletics, the new breed of American athletics. And when you look at her, okay, both physically and, literally in the sense of what she posts, she is representative of the new breed of this new generation of Americans, so-called Generation Z, that's coming up, whether she's an athlete or not. And see, people don't like that. But again, this is what these white liberals and the black diaspora that lies to these females that they're queens when they're anything but has done. This is what they've created. This is the Frankenstein monster that they have bred. And now it's rearing its ugly head. And now everybody wants to kill the monster. Everybody's yelling, cancel Sha'Carri, cancel Sha'Carri. Cancel Sha'Carri for what? Listen to me. If you cancel Sha'Carri Richardson, you would have to cancel about 90% of black American females of the last generation that are alive today. And that, my friend, whether you want to hear it or not, is a fact. Because she is nothing less than a clone, okay, a replica of everything we see in black culture in black America today. You want this girl to act out of character, which is to act like she has some fucking sense and to be respectful. And that is not going to happen, because that's not within her, because that's not how she's been programmed. That's not how she's been raised. That's not how her and millions of other black girls are being conditioned. They're being conditioned to be ignorant little twits, because this is what the American liberal and this is what black America wants. They want to normalize the abnormal, not just in this, but in several other categories. And now you see the end result, and now everybody wants to get mad about it. Well, I'm here to tell you that's just too damn bad. So thank you, Sha'Carri Richardson, starting off for doing that. No, seriously. Thank you, Sha'Carri. I'm not even mad at Sha'Carri. Sorry, y'all, about that robocall. I had to cut that off. I tell you, as a side note, so, because I'm recording this from my phone screen. But as a side note, I just want to say that I don't know. They're trying to pass federal laws against these jackasses that are making these robocalls. Like, robocalls are even going viral on social media now. Like, people are... I seen this one person on their Facebook, They was like, no, I don't have auto policy. Stop calling my damn phone. Like, bruh, like, who the fuck is doing this? Like, I'm not even trying to deviate from the topic at hand, but like, seriously, since I have everybody here, somebody tell me, like, who has this much fucking time on their hands just to be fucking with people, randomly calling people's phones and shit? Like, seriously, they say that there's like, what, 2 million robocalls a day just in the United States alone? Who is doing this dumb shit? What do they hope to achieve? Like, seriously, I thought that was a serious phone call. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to edit that phone number out and everything. But no, I'm just gonna let it ride. It's like, who's doing this dumbass shit, bruh? Like, I get phone calls from fucking random robocall motherfuckers more than I get from, people that I actually personally know. Damn, get a life. God, 5-6 years ago, you didn't see this shit. 2 years ago, it wasn't this bad. What is up with all this robocall and bullshit, man? These motherfuckers trolling hard, bruh. Like, damn. But anyway, back on what I was saying. So, I'm not mad at Sha'Carri Richardson at all. I'm actually happy. Let me say this. Sha'Carri Richardson's attitude, now everybody's, talking about, her sneak dissing Allison Felix, the most winningest Olympic athlete, an American athlete to compete in the Olympics in American history. I think she even surpassed Carl Lewis. And now everybody's saying, okay, Sha'Carri's out of line. Okay, first of all, Sha'Carri's been out of line. Okay, she was out of line when she wore that cheap blonde weave with those ridiculous fake eyelashes in that first Today Show interview, following her being dismissed from the Olympics for failing the drug test after smoking marijuana. Okay, she was out of line back then. Okay, and I wanted to say it back then when I saw that interview and she wasn't, acting ratchet in that interview. She was taking responsibility. I wanted to draw breath and say it. But I held my breath, as I told y'all in the last 2 videos. I held my breath and I said, okay, she looks like a thought bot. That's what I call these ratchet females out here that, the multicolor weaves and the bad attitudes and always trying to get dick and attention and complaining about, some thug Negro that they, hopping up and down on and talking about, how every other female is hating on them and trying to steal a man. I tried to resist the temptation of throwing Sha'Carri Richardson in that basket. Okay, I said, okay, she's a professional athlete. I told y'all this in the first video. I wanted to see, okay, she messed up. She's young, but she has talent. So we gonna try to give her a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. But I knew from that first time I laid eyes on this chick, I knew what she was. And what she was a extension, a depiction, a poster child example of the modern day Black American female. Okay? And look, even a Jamaican woman came out and said it. Okay? After, the Sha'Carri Richardson liking a post from some troll on Twitter talking shit about Jamaicans. Okay? She said it. She said, and this is why I have to thank Sha'Carri Richardson. She said, and she said it mainly because she was pissed, because we know that Black women, they like to turn, a blind eye and usually give these hood rats like Sha'Carri Richardson, which Sha'Carri is. I mean, she's hood trash. Let's call it for what it is. But they will give these females a pass. These ratchet female, even Black women, including Allison Felix, who I actually don't feel sorry for, because she shouldn't have. I understand that she's trying to keep it classy, but Allison Felix is what you could classify as a Black woman. She's classy. She's married. She's an accomplished athlete, and she tried to protect and turn a blind eye to the ratchetness and the ghetto foolishness of Sha'Carri Richardson by defending her, and she wound up getting aired out for it. She wound up getting sneak dissed by the same person that she was defending. Okay, because as I've also told you guys, black women, they, you know, the only people that they hate more than the non-dysfunctional, degenerate Pookie and Ray Ray black male, you know, the average blue collar or white collar college educated black man, because they see us as their competition. The only person they hate more is other black females. Okay, the reason why Sha'Carri Richardson went in dissing Allison Felix is because people are bringing up the fact, the very real fact that the media should have been hyping Allison Felix. You know, this last Olympics was her last Olympics before. I think she said this was going to be her last Olympics before retiring. You're talking about a woman that's only 2 years younger than me. She's 34, in her mid 30s. She's won, I think, over a dozen gold medals. She entered the Olympics in 2004 in Athens at 18. She's the most accomplished track and field athlete in history. Okay, and people were saying, why isn't the media covering Allison Felix in her last run at the Olympics, where, by the way, she actually won several medals? Okay, and so that's why, even though she defended this little hood rat, the hood rat got mad because the hood rat is jealous. The same reason why Sha'Carri Richardson put the avatar of that Fraser Price girl walking past her smiling and laughing on her Twitter avatar is the same reason why she sneak dissed a woman, a grown woman that you know, tried to stand up for her. But see, I don't really feel sorry for Allison Felix any more than I feel sorry for a lot of these other black females, because they defend these ratchet types, you know, these housewives of Atlanta type black females, because they know that those females are being heavily critiqued and criticized by, you know, those of us black men who see what is going on every day, day in and day out. Okay, so she did that and she got burned for it. Okay, what she should have just said was, you know, no comment, or, you know, I hope, you know, somebody can get behind her that can help her, you know. But instead, she called herself trying to defend her, and Allison Felix, like the rest of black America, they tried to hype this girl up and put her on a pedestal as something more than what she was. And now her true colors are showing, and now everybody's pretending to be so shocked. So, you know, and when I heard the Jamaican woman say that, then this was a woman, a black woman. Granted, she's from the Caribbean, but this was a black woman that y'all heard in the intro that said in a viral video that Sha'Carri Richardson is just like your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill black woman. She's ratchet and she's ghetto. That's when I was like, okay, it's the green light now. It's the green light. Now we can finally talk about something that has been festering since really, when you think about it, since the mid 80s, since, you know, the crack era, since, you know, Lyndon Baines Johnson's so-called war on poverty and post Moynihan report. You know, these single black females that are raising these children, okay, to be detriments to society and to be, you know, liabilities to their communities and to be almost useless to their own family, okay, growing up, terrorizing the black community, making all of black America look bad, okay? And then on top of that, being hyped up as something that they absolutely are not, which is a group, a segment of black America to be looked up to be revered, okay? I mean, people are acting like Sha'Carri Richardson is the first. No, black people have a tendency to normalize the abnormal. Look at the types of people that we as a collective group, as a society in this American black culture, look at who we put on a pedestal. We don't put, you know, scientists and you know, doctors and, you know, proven political figures and activists. I'm not talking about these opportunists like in Black Lives Matter or Jesse Jackson. I'm talking about proven political and activist figures. We don't put people like that on a pedestal. We put people like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj on a pedestal, and Lil Wayne and Chief Keef. We take our worst, okay? Like Sha'Carri Richardson, we take our worst and we catapult them to the top, okay? Everybody wanted to make a big deal about Nipsey Hussle after he was gunned down in Los Angeles and all he was doing for the black community. I will say that he was trying to give back to his community, but at the same time, he being at least a ex-thug, okay, before he really blew up in the music industry, he was part of what was contributing to that community being so messed up in the first place, and young men like him, okay? But they'll take a Nipsey Hussle in a minute and they'll put him in a high position like he's second only to Jesus Christ or Michael Jackson or something. But somebody who started off from the get-go doing the right thing, they're called, what does Cynthia G call them? An educated lame. That's what we call black men or just black people, even like Allison Felix, that do things right from the get-go and have nearly a squeaky clean image. Okay? And so now, you know, it's come to rear its ugly head. And it's not only rearing its ugly head, it's rearing its ugly head in front of the world. See, people like Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or any of a number of these, you know, Portia Williams. There's so many of these hood thoughts, I can't even count them all. But these type of females, okay, they're expected to be ghetto and act ignorant. You know, black females and black people in general, they think it's cute to act ignorant. Okay, let's just call it for what it is, man. Let's just call it for what it is. Black people think it's cute, particularly for black females to act ignorant and ghetto and ratchet and loud and obnoxious. They think that's cute, okay? The problem with the Sha'Carri Richardson now, even being viewed by black people, is that because she's an athlete, okay, she's supposed to act, you know, classy and professional and represent herself, you know, like Allison Felix in a positive manner and be something for, you know, black people and young black girls to look up to. But what y'all are asking Sha'Carri Richardson to do is impossible because you're asking her to act out of character. It's just like going to a McDonald's in the hood and seeing some red weave wearing thought at the drive-thru and asking her to act professional while taking your order. It's not gonna happen. And I'm glad I brought that up because look, man, look. Like I said in the beginning, I'm thankful to Sha'Carri Richardson, okay? I'm thankful because now she is making it okay to talk about the core problem that we see today in Black America, which is this narcissistic, feminist extremist, misandric, piss poor, ratchet, ignorant, ghetto, loud attitude that about 90+% of these females have. Now it's okay to talk about this shit. People are acting like Sha'Carri Richardson is so different. But look, I'm sorry to tell you, Black America, this is the Frankenstein monster that you created. As a matter of fact, I saw another dude's live stream on YouTube yesterday, last night, before I decided I was going to do this premiere video. And I said, when I saw it, he's absolutely right. He said the same thing I'm saying. He said, Black America, you created Sha'Carri Richardson. Because if we back off, okay, and I know a lot of y'all may not look through these social media posts as much as I do because I do a lot of research. And I have, for those of you, my loyal followers, you know this, my Thoughtopsy series that's coming out. I replaced all as in autopsy with thought and call it the Thoughtopsy series or the Thoughtopsy series, okay? in my Thoughtopsy series that I have coming out, okay, you see through social media the toxicity of a lot of these females. And if we take the athletic talent and skill set and all the media glitz from Sha'Carri Richardson away, let's say she couldn't run track. She wasn't that good, or she wasn't running track. Okay? You take all of that away from her. Okay? And you put her with her red and blonde weaves and all in the public eye. On social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever. I think she's even on TikTok now. And you sit her down. And you sit her beside young black girls, her age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older. You put 10 on one side of Sha'Carri, and you put 10 black girls on the other side of Sha'Carri. And you know what you're going to see? You're going to see a bunch of Sha'Carri Richardsons. I don't care what their first and last name is, because all of these females act the same. And to be honest with y'all, I've actually, since this latest controversy, I actually scrolled through some significant posts of Sha'Carri's on Twitter. And to be honest with y'all, Sha'Carri is actually a moderate hood thot. Compared to the toxicity that you see of a lot of these females, including the ones that you're going to see in my Thoughtopsy series, this girl is actually moderate. And maybe it's because she understands that she's being viewed in the public eye. Maybe it's because she's mostly on the track, or she was before she started getting all this hype. Or maybe it's just because she's moderate. But compared to these other thoughts, she's actually pretty moderate. Okay? These females don't give a damn what they put on social media. Everything from, their sexual innuendos to, what other female they gonna beat up. And, I'm being politically correct because this is YouTube. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But see, y'all thought this was cute. Okay? This is the toxic. They always talk about toxic masculinity. This is the toxic behavior. This is the toxic fatal feminism that we have seen over the course of the last decade since social media has been a thing. Okay? David Carroll often says that social media is the worst thing to ever happen to black people. I disagree. I think it's the best thing to ever happen to black people, because now we can see all the foolery front and center. Okay? This shit is so cute until y'all get embarrassed. Till a Sha'Carri Richardson comes up and embarrasses y'all, basically acting in character, doing what she's doing. And listen, everybody, another thing, in defense of Sha'Carri is not only is she not acting out of character, she's acting like she's supposed to act based on how she's been trained and conditioned since birth as a young black female coming up in the hoods, I think Oak Cliff of Dallas. Or if she was born in Chicago, or if she was born in New Orleans, or if she was born in Baltimore, or if she was born in New York City, Los Angeles, Oakland, go down the list. Okay? Detroit, Minneapolis. This is how they're trained. You know the saying they say about soldiers and they say about boxers. You fight how you trained. Win, lose, or draw, you fight how you trained. This girl, okay, with all her weaves and aesthetics and her, throwing shade, as y'all say, and sneak dissing other females, including females that are trying to keep it classy and support her. This is what she's been trained to do. You can't get mad at Sha'Carri Richardson if you're not going to get mad at the black diaspora as a whole, in this toxic femininity that teaches these females not only my body my choice, my mouth my choice. I can say and do whatever I want and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. This is how y'all are raising these young black girls. Okay? And then you're surprised when a Sha'Carri Richardson comes along, when the truth of the matter is, Sha'Carri is the black American female of today. What are we acting surprised about? This is where we're at. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but this is where we're at. Okay? This is what y'all, again, this is the Frankenstein monster that y'all have created. So let's stop trying to pretend like it's something else. Or let's stop trying to pretend like it's something that it's not. Or that it's not what it is. Listen, I got off the phone with a cousin of mine yesterday. We talked for about 5 minutes. And I told him the same thing. I said, look, man, you can go, people are acting like Sha'Carri Richardson is something new. You can go into any Walmart. I promise all of y'all. I promise all of y'all living in the continental United States. You can go into any Walmart and look at both black female customers and black female employees that work there. You can go on almost any one of these black females' social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or anything. You can go to any McDonald's. At nighttime, you can go to any club. You can go to any bar. You can walk down the street in a lot of these cities. You can go anywhere, bro. You can be stuck in traffic. You can go anywhere. East to west, north to south, far and wide, and find 1,000 girls, black girls, that act and look exactly like Sha'Carri Richardson. They have the same attitude, the same aesthetics, the same weave. This is the toxic trait that y'all have allowed to be injected into the mind of young up and coming black women, but also intertwined. This is now in this toxic attitude is now intertwined with black culture. That being ignorant, being stupid, being a little silly ass hoe, being ratchet, this is cute. This is the way to go on about doing it, to the point now where people talking about hashtag no slut shaming. People are defending females that not only act ratchet, but act like thoughts or all thoughts. They're defending this digital prostitution, for example, that we're seeing. Everything that is dysfunctional, everything that is deplorable to the rest of the world, black people embrace. This is where y'all, this is where you're at. This is where you're at. I mean, you look at what happened last year with George Floyd. Now, I'm not saying what happened to that brother was right, okay? He shouldn't have had, a dude's knee on his back while he was handcuffed. Obviously, the dude was handcuffed. I personally think, as somebody who suffers from anxiety disorder, I believe George Floyd suffered a panic attack when they were trying to arrest him and put him in that car, and he may have been a little claustrophobic, okay? And that combined with him having a knee in his back and having a bad heart probably gave him a heart attack, okay? But at the end of the day, y'all rioted and looted and burned down half of America for a dude that was an amateur porn star and a counterfeiter. Yet, a little girl, one of tens of thousands of innocent victims of gang and gun violence in Chicago named Jaslyn Adams, was at a McDonald's drive-thru with her pookie father just trying to get a fucking Happy Meal, got shot 6 times. No rioting and looting. No statue erected in the honor of this little 7-year-old girl. Nobody gave a fuck. Why? Because Jaslyn Adams was killed by the spawn of these single, educated, outspoken, hey girl, team unbothered, ratchet black females. These pookie savages out here terrorizing the black community. Now, if them dudes had have been white and wearing white KKK hoods, oh yeah, you would have known the name Jaslyn Adams. Wouldn't have been able to stop hearing it. But this is what I'm talking about when I say that black people have accepted abnormality. They have converted abnormality and accepted it as normal. Okay? So everybody want to talk about the bad attitude of Sha'Carri, but Sha'Carri is nothing but what Black America wants, because this is what Black America has created. Okay? You look at her from the very start, and a lot more people, since I made my first video about this, a lot more people have been calling this out now that, you know, the true face of Sha'Carri Richardson and her character are coming out. Everybody, you know, she used the excuse that her biological mother, who I don't even think, I think she was raised by her grandmother, because it doesn't seem like she was that close with her mom, but her biological mother died, and she said that was the reason why she used marijuana. That sounded fishy from the get-go, but now everybody's calling out, is that the reason why Sha'Carri really was smoking weed before the Olympics? And I said in my first video, but now I'm saying more confidently, no, I don't believe that's why she was smoking weed. I think she was smoking weed because she was celebrating after her pre-trial qualification, where she finished first back in June. Okay, I think she was smoking weed because smoking weed is what her and her homies do. Okay, then she made a tweet about what people call a homophobic tweet. I didn't read it, but that's pretty funny because Sha'Carri Richardson is, from what she says herself, she has a girlfriend, which means she's a lesbian, which means she would be part of the LGBTQ community. So it's hypocritical for her to make a homophobic tweet because she has a girlfriend, right? Then a new video has surfaced just within the last couple of days after she lost at the Prefontaine Classic of the pre-tournament race that she had with the Jamaican girls and the other girls that were on the track where she finished last. And in a pre-interview, she was sitting on a stage with the three Jamaican Olympic medalists. And they asked her about, you know, racing against these girls that were in the Olympics since she didn't get a chance to go to the Olympics. And she was saying, oh, well, you know, I'm not impressed, or, you know, I'm not starstruck. just being disrespectful. All she had to do was just leave it at, I'm honored to be, you know, able to race against, you know, the Olympic champions. I'm honored to be able to race on the track and prove myself against these young ladies. But she just had to be, you know, ghetto and confrontational and aggressive and arrogant about it. I'm not impressed. And then after she got embarrassed, I mean, first of all, wait, let me back up for just a second. Did anybody see because I showed parts of the pre-interview at the press conference. That's a video that didn't really surface. It was online before the race, but wasn't nobody paying attention to it. But it started to surface after, you know, all the other controversy. And we see that Sha'Carri was acting weird before the race even started. First of all, when she came on stage to the pre-interview press conference, the girl walked right past the empty chair that was put out for her, almost accidentally, I guess, into the face of one of the other Jamaican girls looking for the seat. She walked right past the chair that was sitting right there, like she didn't even see it. And then she, in the middle of the white reporter's questions, she asked, huh? She was like, huh? She was asking if somebody said something. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. They was waiting for her to answer the reporter's questions. So the broad was hallucinating. She walked right past an empty chair, and she said she thought she heard somebody say something. The girl was hallucinating. She may have been high at the event. The girl was tripping before the race even started. And then the reporter, he said, I'm one of your millions of followers, and she gonna try to correct him real fast. You know, try to throw her little ego in there talking about, oh, I got 2 million. Yeah, we know. That's why he said millions is in plural. But the girl was acting high and weird. Somebody need to test to see if she was high at the event. Not that it helped her. She was tripping before the event. At press conference, it also cleared something else up that a lot of people were questioning. You know, among the ramblings that Sha'Carri Richardson was doing in the post-interview following finishing 9th place in the Prefontaine Classic behind all the other girls, she was bragging about well, she wasn't really bragging. She was trying to save face, talking about she was the 6th fastest woman in the world. And nobody could ever take that away from her. A lot of people were confused about where she got that from. Now, I'm not, I don't really keep up with the Olympics or track and field. I don't think most of us did. But I figured what she was talking about was in the interest of world records. I don't believe she was talking about the actual track, okay? But also, watching the pre-interview, I think we understand now where she got that from, okay? Because in the pre-interview in Oregon at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon, it was the white reporter when he was presenting. When he was introducing Sha'Carri Richardson to the press pool before she came on stage, he said, amongst other things, Sha'Carri Richardson is the 6th fastest woman in the world, and he's talking about in the interest in respect to records, okay, not in the actual race itself. Obviously, she finished 9th, but as far as speed, who's on record, she's the 6th fastest woman ever. Okay. Now, we can say that's saying something, but I mean, 6th, even if you're talking about fastest of all time, it's saying something, but then it's not. It's still not first place. It's not even third place. Okay. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Not all of them race professionally. I mean, you have how many professional and Olympic track stars in the world? Probably less than 10,000. So saying that you're the 6th fastest, that's kind of a toss-up. But the point that I'm making is, I don't even, because Sha'Carri, if you go back and you watch that pre-interview that I showed in the intro, Sha'Carri was clearly tripping. She didn't see that she walked right past the fucking chair. As I said before, she walked right past the fucking chair that was set out for her on stage beside the other girls. She was like, huh? Because she thought somebody else was talking other than the white guy that was asking her questions. So she was hearing, the broad was hearing voices. And she got the thing in the post interview about her being the 6th fastest from the white dude that interviewed her in the pre-interview. I honestly, as ignorant as Sha'Carri is, I don't even think she knew that she was the 6th fastest woman. At least not off the top of her head. I think the white guy told her that, and she basically regurgitated what he said. Okay, I don't think she would have even brought that up in the post interview. She was running through her mind to use anything to try to defend herself in the post interview, and she took what the white guy said when he was introducing her, saying that she was the 6th fastest, to try to help her save face, even though 6th fastest is pretty damn slow compared to the 1st and 2nd, right? So, yeah, there's that little bit. Then we saw what happened in the event. We saw, the post interview where she was cussing, she was mad, and all of that. And then, of course, a few days later, now she's sneak dissing the Jamaican team that whooped her ass. And she's not only sneak dissing the Jamaican team, she's sneak dissing an American athlete, Allison Felix, that tried to protect her in the spotlight, in the media limelight, when she was on Jimmy Kimmel show, being interviewed by Stephen, I forget his name. And again, she's dissing Allison Felix because she sees Allison Felix as her competition. Not only is Allison Felix not ghetto, she's, one of those rare breeds of black females that I could actually classify as a normal feminine black woman, but she's also a very accomplished athlete. Okay, what this girl did towards Allison Felix that tried to protect her is no different than these females that be throwing shade on each other or disrespecting each other on, and posting it all over social media because they jealous of each other. Okay, she's jealous of Allison Felix. Obviously, she's jealous of her. Allison Felix has everything that not only Sha'Carri Richardson, but a lot of black females like Sha'Carri Richardson with her attitude will likely never have. She has a husband. Okay? She has a successful career. She has class. Okay? And she has endorsements that are likely and sponsors that are likely going to stay with her because she has a good squeaky clean image. Nobody knows what any of these people do behind closed doors. Okay? But Allison Felix is a classy, at least she presents herself. I haven't seen any reason to think otherwise. She presents herself as a classy black woman. Sha'Carri Richardson and ghetto trash like her are the exact opposite. Okay? So she's jealous. She sees Felix as her competition. She don't care what Felix said. Okay? What's going around in Sha'Carri's mind is that I gotta prove Sha'Carri, I can almost guarantee you Sha'Carri has not practiced at all after that embarrassing loss. She's not been on the track seriously practicing at all. I can almost guarantee it. Since between now and since after she got smoked in the Prefontaine Classic. I and a lot of people are questioning if she practiced at all seriously before the race. We saw how bad she did, and somebody was saying it's very unusual for a professional track athlete to fall that far behind their their best time. She was like 4 seconds or something. I don't know what it was, but it was significantly behind her best time, including what she did at the pre-trials. Okay, first of all, okay, I don't mean the race. That's over. That's old news now. Everybody's talking about all the post-race controversy with this hood thought. But first of all, people talking about if she prepared and she trained and conditioned herself, she would have done better. Yes, I don't think that she was prepared. I said that from the get-go. But to be honest with you, bruh, I don't think she ever would have caught, especially them top two Jamaicans. I think it's Sha'Carri's best. I'm going to be real with y'all. I think it's Sha'Carri's best. She would have finished third place. And I say that not only because of the race, not only because they're Olympic gold medalists, but and not only because Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price are phenomenal sprinters, but also because in my research of the whole situation, I came across this video. I'm gonna try to leave the link in the description box, but if I don't, somebody remind me of this YouTube video. This video on YouTube called "The Sprinter Factory" or "The Sprint Factory," and I forget who was doing the documentary. It was like a BBC documentary, but I don't quote me. I'm not saying it was BBC, but they took a professional camera crew into Jamaica and looked at the way they train. And bruh, you would think as good and as world class as their sprinters are, they would have top of the line athletics facilities. No, these kids are training barefoot and in sandals in the dirt. Like Jamaica, I said this before, a lot of us from Western culture, in America and from Europe, people come from all over the world to go to a lot of the coastal cities and the resorts along the coastline of these Caribbean islands, including Bahamas, Barbados, Jamaica, even Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and whatnot. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of these places, when you go inshore, when you go inland, a lot of these places are crushed with poverty, dude. Like the regular people who live on these islands, the people, including these insta-thoughts and millionaires, they go away to for, vacations to these resorts. A lot of these people are dirt poor that live inland outside of, the coast and the resorts. And, they even with some tour guides, they warn you, be careful, about leaving the resort and where you go. Or if you go, you better have a damn tour guide and, a translator, because you could easily get robbed, jacked, or, even kidnapped, bro. You got to be careful because, crime is rampant in these areas. But I was looking on this documentary, and in case I don't put it in the description box, You can look it up. Just type in the Sprinter Factory or the Sprint Factory in YouTube. These kids, girls and boys, I mean, they train in the dirt in like just their regular clothes. They be running in the mud, in grass and mud, bruh. Training, sprinting, bruh. Like, you can't, like, a person that comes from humble beginnings like that, bruh, I'm gonna keep it real with you. These people over here, yes, we have some of the best athletes and some of the best training facilities in the world, but those people over there, they are so good and so determined because, you know, there's basically two sports. If you come from Latin America or if you come from the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica, there's only two sports. There's soccer, which, you know, I mean, there's several companies that got that on wrap, or there's, you know, becoming an Olympian of some kind. And in Jamaica, it's basically either soccer or sprinting, soccer or being a track star. So, you know, a lot of these kids, man, they come up in the slums, in places, some places where they don't even have regular footwear, bruh. And these kids be running their ass off, bruh. Like, you know, that dude, that troll that made that post, you know, I know he was trolling and being disrespectful, but he wasn't too far off. But, bruh, like, you can't really fuck with nobody that came from something like that, bruh. Like, them people are running for milk and food, bruh. Like, you can't really, like, you know, Sha'Carri, yeah, she's hood. She came from a poor area, but there's so many, and I've explained this in other videos, there's so many programs that help you through the taxpayer, including my dollar. You know, if you're a young person, you know, that's like a you know, being raised by a single mother or something, you know, these welfare programs, countless state and federally taxpayer funded welfare programs to keep these people propped up. You see these hood thoughts riding around in brand new SUVs and cars, some of them nicer than people that, you know, have worked all their fucking life. Like, you know, they figure out ways to abuse and get around the system. Like, you know, they be throwing these parties and going on these vacations. Where do you think they're getting most of that money from? They ain't getting it by working legit jobs, most of them, okay? They're getting it from all of this welfare funding that they're being incentivized with. In places like Jamaica, there ain't none of that. Now, somebody from Jamaica, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but if they do have welfare services that are outside of like the Red Cross and Salvation Army, which are, you know, really American and international based organizations, tell me, because I mean, in a lot of these countries, these dirt poor countries, so-called third world countries, you're basically on your own if you're poor. So when you have somebody like an Elaine Thompson Herah or a Shelly Ann Fraser Price who admitted that she came from nothing, like she came from the dirt. Like Shelly Ann Price, she was saying, I saw an article where she said she'd be outside running barefoot, bruh. This girl was running barefoot in the dirt in Jamaica, bruh. In the slums of Jamaica. Like, somebody come from something like that, like, bruh, like, you're not about to fuck with them on any level, because if they had to come up out of that, like, dude, like, you have to be damn near Superman or Superwoman to beat somebody like that. I mean, they are running their ass off. Because, I mean, again, they not just running for media hype and fame. Like, they running for the livelihoods of themselves, they families, and even their communities, bruh. Like, they running for everybody back home that was as dirt poor as they was. Like, you're not about to fuck with nobody like that, bruh. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but you're not about to mess with nobody like that. I'm sorry, okay? I mean, I'm not saying that they're unbeatable, but it's gonna be pretty damn hard when you rise up out of that. Like man, somebody that's been basically coddled their entire life, like a lot of these hood thoughts in the ghetto are. You know, people are poor in this country, but unless you're homeless, like a lot of men are. Like, I ask people, how many homeless women do you see on the street compared to men? Most of the people out here begging, most of the people under viaducts, most of the people standing at the off-way ramp or the overpass, you know, when you get on or get off the highway with holding up a bucket, most of those are men. Most of these females are incentivized, even in these hoods. I tell people all the time, in the hoods, people are not really poor. They're poor in the mind, but they're not poor, you know, in the bank account. Like, They have money. That's obvious. They just spend it on the wrong things because they have a poor mindset, okay? But anybody that can be in the hood and still have party after party, get brand new cars, get gold chains, go on these vacations that these Insta-thoughts be going on. Anybody that has that, they're not really poor. Those people in Jamaica are really poor, okay? So somebody come up out of that, I don't care what you say. I don't care how hard you train, bro. Like, you don't have the right to, you don't have enough motivation and determination to fuck with they top notch. You just don't. Cause them people they come from a different cloth. And that's just the facts. The thing I gotta really call out is, Jamaicans, and maybe they just don't understand how American economics works, okay? And how, the corporatocracy works. But they call themselves calling out Nike because they're not endorsing, and they're not they're not marketing Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, the two best sprinters currently in the world, as they're marketing Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri, she got her own fucking commercial that Nike aired, I think, on their Instagram page or something like that. And even after Elaine Herah and Shelly Price smoked her in the Prefontaine Classic, they only congratulated the Jamaican sprinters on their lesser known Instagram page, not their main page that has over 169 million followers. And listen, y'all don't understand, and black people, they across the board, both the Caribbean, Latin America, here in the United States of America, you need to understand, Nike is a white owned and controlled company. Okay, just because you Negroes have gone through the last 3 generations making them rich doesn't mean they owe you anything except that that overpriced shoe, and it is overpriced, that y'all keep being dumb enough to buy out of stores. Okay, all they owe you is what the merchandise that you buy, which is their damn shoe. Outside of that, they don't owe you anything. Jesse Jackson's goofy ass in the mid 90s talking about Nike don't invest nothing in the black community and we're their main consumers. Why should they? It's just like, why should the Democrats do anything to incentivize, to help develop and build up the black community when they know that y'all gonna go out and blindly vote for their ass, 99% of the time? Nike they are a corporation. They are a company. Okay. Their main goal is to make money, is to turn a profit. They're going to market what sells. What sells are Air Jordans, the Nike brand, the Nike logo. Okay. And currently, as far as, who they're going to put their check mark on, the famous Nike logo check mark, they're going to put it on athletes that they think not necessarily can succeed, but on athletes that they think are going to make them money. Okay. And because, just like we tried to tell y'all with the Ancestry.com commercial that was appealing to these black female swirlers a couple of years ago by showing that slave role play in one of their commercials a couple of years back, Nike knows, okay, they look on social media just like I do, okay, and just like we do. They see what's going on, okay? They see what's going on in black America. They should, since black people have been their main consumers, okay? They know the type of black female that is being, hyped up as, the black queen and, the girl that's winning. And it's not an Allison Felix. It's a Sha'Carri Richardson type, okay? The one that does more clubbing and partying than she does homework and prepping for her race. Okay? The one that wears the multicolor crazy weaves and the fake eyelashes and the long nails and will tell you off, in a moment's notice if you do something she don't like, cause she outspoken and, ain't nobody gonna tell her nothing. That's the type of female that the black community is marketing, okay, and is putting as the face of the black female. So that is the type of black female that Nike is going to market, because marketing her unfortunately, this is what Black America and really America in general has embraced as even though it's abnormal, as a normal Black woman. Okay? So they know that marketing Sha'Carri with bad attitude and all, that's what's going to make them money. I said not too long ago, I said, Sha'Carri her endorsements may drop off, but now I disagree with myself. Her endorsements may not drop off. She may get more endorsements. Okay? Because these people, they don't care how destructive it is promoting the wrong image. All they care about is profiting and making money. And no, I'm sorry, Jamaica. I'm sorry. Even though y'all have some of the best sprinters in the world, Nike doesn't owe you anything. Nike is a white owned and controlled company. I'm telling Negroes about this, the same thing I told them about that movie back in 2015, Gods and Pharaohs or whatever, that came out that had Gerard Butler's goofy ass and a bunch of white people playing ancient Egyptians, and Black people want to get mad. I said, if you don't like it, get together and make your own fucking films about your own African history. Otherwise, shut up. Okay? White people are going to do what's best for their pocket and what's best for white people. Okay? The powers that be that are white people. I'm not talking about the white individual, but the white powers that be that are white people. That's what they're going to do, whether you like it or not. So, get with the program or get out. I don't know how long it takes for Black people to understand and accept this, okay? That this diversity thing is a myth that's used to control and manipulate you for votes and profits. It always has been, it always will be, okay? These people in power, including these liberals, don't care nothing about you. As long as you blindly give them your money, give them your time, and give them your vote, they're going to keep doing what they're doing, which is playing you for a goddamn fool. For those of you, hoping that she bounces back, even after all this, befuddled fuckery that she's committed and caused, I got news for you. Whether she keeps her endorsements or not, that's to be seen. Because on the one hand, she obviously is a loser. I think we all can agree to that now, at least those of us that are being fair about it. But on the other hand, she's still marketable. Because, and I said this before, Sha'Carri Richardson, she has so much status now on social media, she can actually retire from track and still make money and be famous by just talking shit and doing she can just become an insta-thot. Okay? She's perfect for it. In the modern era, as far as the extremely low standard, that's so low that an ant can scratch his back on, and the low to almost non-existent qualifications you need to qualify to be an insta-thot, she could just be an insta-thot, aka insta model, on social media, and she can garner as much, if not more competition, not more attention and fame and money than and popularity than being an athlete, to be honest with you. Okay? So, whether she keeps her endorsements or not, okay, I don't believe her notoriety will go away. People talking about cancel her. I don't think it'll go away because she is representative, again, of about 90% of, the minority females that we see in this current generation today. I don't care what city you're talking about. I don't care, what profession you're talking about. This is Black America. This is, again, the Frankenstein monster. What I call the thought bot is the Frankenstein monster that Black America has created today. Okay? The female with the attitude that she don't care about nobody but herself, that she's gonna, do whatever she wants to do, whether it's wrong or not, and then she's still gonna stand up and proclaim herself to be, and people are gonna continue to lie to her that she's a queen, that she's royalty, again, when she's anything but. This is the image of the Black woman that y'all wanted, and now you have it, okay? But nonetheless, people talking about she's gonna bounce back from this. No, she's not, and I'm gonna tell you why. It has nothing even to do with the other girls being faster than her. There's always somebody that's going to come along that's going to break a record. There's always going to be people that are going to come along that are going to win medals. Okay? If Sha'Carri really trained, she can be an Olympic medalist. Okay? Again, Allison Felix was in how many Olympics? I think, like 4 at least. She was in Athens. So Athens, then she went to Beijing, London, Rio in 2016, and now this one. Yeah, no, this is her 5th Olympics. And she's in her mid-30s, 2 years younger than me. So if she wanted to really whip herself into shape and take shit seriously, yeah, she could go to the Olympics and do very well, whether she won gold or not. But see, her attention is elsewhere. She does. I'm sorry to tell y'all that still want to try to stand behind this thought. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this now. Okay? Sha'Carri Richardson does not have the heart. She calls herself a warrior, but she says a lot of things. She doesn't have the heart of a true competitor. And you know why I say she doesn't have the heart of a true competitor? Not because she finished last in 9th place. Not because she clearly didn't prepare hardly at all, if at all, for that race. She doesn't have the heart of a competitor because she dropped out of her second event. She wasn't injured after that race. She was only embarrassed. Okay? She dropped out of the 200 meters because she didn't want to make things worse. She didn't want to be embarrassed. You know, black females, they have a big issue with having to fess up to taking L's. They have a huge issue with taking accountability and responsibility for their own actions, even when it causes them to face harsh consequences like we saw with Sha'Carri Richardson. For her to get in that 200 meters, she knew she wasn't ready. And the first race just showed that. So her getting in the second race, she would probably have gotten a better chance had she prepared to win the 200 meter, because the Jamaicans weren't on the field in the 200 meter, I don't believe, at least not the best, the Jamaican best sprinters, Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, they weren't in the 200 meter competition. So at best, you know, if Sha'Carri had any confidence in herself, if she knew she trained, she could at least say, okay, well, I lost against the Jamaicans, but I still, in a longer race, the 200 meters, I still got first place. So, I'm still pretty damn good. She knew, because all them girls left her in the dust. Every girl there, she knew she was not prepared, and getting in that 200 meter race would only make matters worse. So she didn't even try. Okay? And this is what I mean when I say the heart of a competitor. Okay? It's one thing to be an athlete. Y'all need to understand this. I said this years ago on CBS Sports. They had a forum. We were arguing about MMA champions, mixed martial arts champions, and I made a title that went I made a thread that went viral. It got like over 1,000 posts. It was titled something to the tune of title holders versus true champions. Okay, there are a lot of guys. There are a lot of fighters in combat sports that win titles. You see almost all these goofy motherfuckers holding up some type of belt. Okay. But there are very few of them who are true champions. Meaning there are very few of them who can defend their championship belt to the extent that they have one. And even if they lose the belt to another competitor, they come back stronger. Or even if they go down fighting. Okay? Because they have the heart of a champion. They have the heart of a competitor. Another thing I'm sorry to tell y'all that have been lying to these black females like they're queens. Your girl Sha'Carri Richardson, she does not have the heart of a competitor. She does not have the heart of a champion. She is an athlete. She's a very talented athlete. She has a lot of potential as an athlete, but she does not have the heart of a competitor. She does not have the heart of an athlete. She has the mind and the heart of a thought, which is why she's more concerned about social media than she is about getting back in the lab, as she calls it, and going to work and making sure that the next time the world sees her, it won't be like last time. Okay? Because she dropped out of the second race. Not because she was injured. Not because she got disqualified this time. She gave up on herself because she knew herself wasn't ready. And y'all have created an environment where black women feel like they don't have to be ready. They don't have to prove anything. They don't have to put work in. You understand that, right? This is why I say she's a picture-perfect example of the modern-day black female as we see her today. Okay? She's picture-perfect. She knows she doesn't have to put work in. Now, if she wants to be a champion, if she wants to be an Olympic medalist, If she wants to break records, yes. She does have to put work in. But all she has to do to be a thought, an insta thought, a person on social media with status is just be controversial. That's why she said in the post interview, in the pre-interview, before the race, she said any attention, good attention or negative attention, is good for the sport and it's good for women. Because this is what y'all have nurtured. This is what y'all have raised as a community, as a people, as a culture. Females who feel like they don't have to be beholden to accountability or responsibility for anything, and it's made worse by all these government, taxpayer fed government incentives that they get for irresponsibly having children. Even though we know Sha'Carri doesn't have children, but she has the same mentality as a lot of these females that do that. Because they're not incentivized to do the right thing. They're incentivized to do the wrong thing. And yet again, I say, y'all got the nerve to get mad at Sha'Carri. I can tell you right now that, look, hyping Sha'Carri Richardson up was the absolute worst thing that the media or anybody else could have done for this thought, as far as in the interest of making sure that she does the best in her career as a track athlete. Giving her all of this attention and this hype was the worst thing that could have ever happened to her. Okay? Because like most black females, she has a lot of insecurities. Okay? She has a lot of trouble controlling her emotions. Okay? And you just catapulted her to instant fame without her having to accomplish or prove anything. And she's going to do what most black females do. She's going to take that opportunity, okay? And she's going to accept that as an achievement and abandon the stuff that she needs to do in order to improve herself as an athlete. She's going to choose the attention that she's getting, however negative. She's going to choose that, and she's going to ride that wave as long as she can over striving and working to be a top-notch, professional, world-class track athlete. I can tell you that right now. Sha'Carri is more concerned about trying to not only protect her image, but she is more concerned with trying to garner more attention and make sure, whether it's negative attention or positive attention, that she is more paid attention to than the Jamaican girls who smoked her ass and Allison Felix, who is, the most accomplished track star in American history. She doesn't care about winning more gold medals. Y'all need to understand this, okay? Sha'Carri Richardson is fighting how her and millions of other young black girls over the course of the last 2 generations have been trained to fight. She's fighting how she's trained, okay? She's trained that no matter what, even when you lose, okay, you act loud and you act obnoxious, you act arrogant and you act aggressive. People may think you are an idiot because you are an idiot, but at least they'll be paying attention to you, okay? For her, it's the attention. I can tell y'all right now, this girl, she's too preoccupied with social media and getting attention. She's focused on trying to beat, that's why she had the avatar of Fraser Price, the Jamaican chick, walking past her smiling, okay? She's focused on getting her revenge at these other females by showing that she has more followers and that she's getting more attention. Another thing, again, part of the normalizing abnormalities that black people do is teach black youth, especially black girls, that any attention is good attention, including negative attention. Again, you look at Sha'Carri, she's a clone of 90+% of young black girls her age, okay? They see these nasty mouth heifers on like Facebook and Twitter. You see the type of stuff that they say and do. They don't care that people think that they're nasty and they're rude and they're obnoxious. They feel like as long as you're looking at them, as long as you're talking about them, as long as they're relevant, even if they come off as trash and an idiot, that's a one-up for them. Okay? Not realizing they're always talking about how people are bashing them. They're bashing themselves. But again, this is how y'all have trained and bred the modern day black female, and then you wonder why you get the results that you get. I mean, people, I was even saying it first. In my first stream, I said, obviously, and this was right after the post interview in the race where she got smoked a few days ago. I said somebody needs to get behind Sha'Carri Richardson, and they need to either fire her PR team or they need to hire her a PR team. Okay? Because this girl clearly does not need to be in front of the media. She's too ghetto. She's ghetto. Okay? She's a hood chick, which is the reason why the liberal media hyped her up in the first place. Because, again, they're trying to replace the Allison Felix. Everybody was asking, why aren't they hyping up Allison Felix? They're trying to replace the Allison Felixes, that ever shrinking segment of black women who still have class and carry themselves as women, with these, basketball wives, housewives of Atlanta, ratchet thought bots that we see going around fighting each other in Walmart and, putting the squash emoticon to represent, that male sexual organ on Facebook. They're trying to replace the regular black woman with these ratchet thought bots, as I call them, as the new face of black womanhood. And y'all are sitting up letting them. Okay? Let's call it for what it is. And so I said, because I was not fully understanding. I realized a lot of stuff, but I was not fully understanding. When I said, like a lot of people were saying, that this girl needs a PR team or she needs a new PR team. But I realize now, PR team or no PR team, it's not the PR. This is who this girl is. She's being not only what she is, she's being what she's been trained and raised to be. Okay? Which is a ratchet, ignorant, ghetto, hood, trash thoughtbot. Okay? That's what she is. That's why she has no class. She has no respect. She sneak disses the females who beat her in a fair race, and she sneak disses this Allison Felix woman that was trying to defend her. Okay? And let Allison Felix be, and what happened to Allison Felix, since everybody's bringing that up, okay? Let that be a lesson to you other black women who know better, that are blindly defending or at least turning a blind eye to these ratchet females. Okay? Because, everybody's talking about this gender war in black America between black men and black women. But something that I realize now as well, there's also a class war. There's a class war between regular black women and these hood, ghetto, ignorant, reality TV wannabe black females. Okay? There's a class war there as well. These females go back and forth with each other more than they go back and forth with us. Okay? Let that be a lesson on what happens when you try to defend or turn a blind eye to these females in the sole interest of trying to help them save face simply because black men who are woke to their bullshit are calling them out on it. This is what happens. They don't like you any more than they like us. And if you have any common sense, you be checking them just like we're checking them. And at some point, y'all are going to realize that, and maybe, I doubt it, but maybe this is that point. Okay? The reality is, Sha'Carri Richardson is the new face of the black American female, what y'all call the black queen. This is the queen that y'all wanted. This is the queen that y'all have nurtured. This is the queen that you have prepared. This is the queen that you are presenting before the world. And now y'all are mad because the queen is doing what y'all raised and bred her to be, which is a ignorant, stupid ass thought bot. What else do you expect her to be than what she is? Again, and I'm going to close with this. You take away all of the hype, all of the media attention, all of the social media attention, the cameras, you take away her athletic ability and all of that. Take all of that away, okay? And what you have is a over-the-top, narcissistic, mentally unstable, ratchet, ghetto, hood trash, messy mouth, disrespectful, thinks she cute but she not, aesthetics wearing, fake up wearing, weave wearing, thought bot. That's no different than 90% of these other young girls out here, because these young girls are being trained that being messy and being ignorant and even being promiscuous and being reckless is what is acceptable, normal behavior. They think they're cute because y'all are not checking and correcting them. Hence, thus, what we see in Black America today, online and off. What more do you want than what you see and what you get? Because of how you prepped and what you created. It's time to wake up, Black America. Thanks so much for listening. And those of you, again, who have donated, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The links for my personal crowdfunding is down in the description box. And the links for the to donate to the FS Avenger website is over there on fsavenger.com. That link should be somewhere down below, including the pinned post and the description box. You go to the home page of fsavenger.com and you can click the donate button if you'd like to support Black Male Free Speech. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. And yeah, like I said, it's time to call it for what it is. And again, I actually thank Sha'Carri. I thank her. I'm thankful. I personally, as a black pillar, as a hashtag Marlboro man, as an anti-feminist, okay, what some people may call an incel, simply because I'm not willing to put up with the bullshit of this is YouTube. Because I'm not willing to put up with the BS of these modern day females. Okay, I actually owe this girl a thank you, because she is making it. Sha'Carri Richardson and her poor character on the world stage is making it okay to talk about the problem of the modern day Black American female as she currently is. And that is a good thing, because maybe a conversation that can be started to inspire action that can counter or even over time reverse the toxicity, the poison, the dysfunction, the degeneracy that we see in Black America today. Personally, I doubt it. I think that, we're just too far down. I think this is just something viral and trending right now, and everybody wants to talk about it. But there's always that maybe. There's always that possibility. So, again, thank you, Sha'Carri Richardson. You're actually a good thing, because now it can't be hidden. The attitude of the Black American female, the poor character of her. Because let me close with this. I said I was going to close, but let me say this before I close this out. Let me say this. See, if Sha'Carri Richardson was going up, you saw her posing with some of the Black American Olympic athletes before the race on her Instagram live or something like that. But see, let's just be realistic. Let's cut the bull crap for a second. Okay? Imagine if Sha'Carri was a man. What would happen? Not only what would happen, what happens when men who are at the professional level of their career, whether they're politicians, whether they're athletes, whether they're movie stars, whatever, what happens with them when they act out of line or when they're perceived as acting out of line? Look at Andrew Cuomo's goofy ass. Just on the allegations of multiple females, he's out of a job. He didn't want to give it up, but he had to give it up. Who is that? Michael Vick. You remember the quarterback? I don't know. Is he still playing in the NFL or is he retired now? When Michael Vick, the feds, they arrested him because he had a dog fight camp set up at his home at one of his mansions or something, and everybody threw shade on him. He was seen as a villain for fighting dogs, bro. For fighting dogs, not dissing other athletes, not preparing for his sport. He was actually a pretty good. I think was he a I'm sorry. Was he a quarterback or I forget? I don't follow sports that heavy. I think he was a quarterback, not a wide receiver. But the fact is, Michael Vick got what y'all call canceled, and that was before social media really took a big effect. That was back in like 2007, 2008, 2009. Okay, look what happens to men when they act out of pocket, like Sha'Carri Richardson did. Men don't have that fail safe where people are gonna coddle them. When a man acts like a fucking fool, I remember being on a job before I started my own business. There's this black female, first name Diamond, and she was just whenever she got an attitude, she let everybody know, including the manager. Right? She'd be all loud at the time clock, clocking in, clocking out. Sometimes saying a few cuss words, and the people at customer service, including management, they just smooth back, act like they didn't even hear that shit. Well, she was pregnant, so that contributed to why she got away with a lot. But me, I so much as even have a bad day where I have an attitude. The fucking general manager let me know he'll cut me quicker than he'll cut his fucking toenails. But see, this is the fail-safe. This is the coddling. This is the mat and the carpet that not only black America, liberal America, but society as a whole that has abandoned moral compass is laid out for these females. We went from women's rights to anything a woman does, no matter how stupid, no matter how irrational, no matter how disrespectful, no matter how, out of the ordinary, no matter how disgusting, is normal. And that's why we are where we are today. If Sha'Carri Richardson was dissing famous black men, there wouldn't be a problem. If she was dissing black men, if she was a hater of black men, and that's questionable because she does have a girlfriend. I don't know what, I don't know what inspired her orientation, if she's always been like that or she dated boys before. There's not really a lot of information besides her high school and collegiate career about her personal life. But if she was going against black men and dissing black men and acting a fool against black men, there wouldn't be no problem. If she was putting white men or other races of men on a pedestal over black men, there wouldn't be no problem. If she was dating another race of men, there wouldn't be no problem. Sha'Carri Richardson is only a fucking problem because she's not only acting ignorant on the world stage, representing black people in a negative way, but she is throwing shade at and disrespecting other black women. See? And that's why I personally, as a anti-feminist, I see Sha'Carri Richardson as an asset to our cause. You know what? I know. Sha'Carri, keep doing it, please. No. Don't stop, Sha'Carri, please. Keep doing it, please. You are making my job so fucking easy. Thank you. And I sincerely mean that. Don't stop. Keep doing it. Because now y'all will see in your faces what we've been trying to tell y'all for fucking years. It's right here. And you can't run from it. Thank you, Sha'Carri. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank y'all for listening. Talk to you later, guys.